Alex O Crypto here. Shout out to you. Trying something new. Just got home from work. It's live at 5 in Australia. We have our weekly candle. And in case you didn't know, a little bit of knowledge for you. If you go to your time zone, now the weekly candle prints at 0 London. If you just go to London UTC down here at the bottom, you can follow when it will print because it prints at UTC 0 and London, Dublin, Lisbon, Reykjavik, all those fun ones with no minus or pluses. That's when it prints. Just if you're curious, on a Sunday, or in my case, on a Monday. So I have to go back in time to check when it prints. Now, holy smokes, what a week it's been. What a week it's been. Let me pop open my chat. Let me say hi to you guys. Shout out to Green Kool-Aid Kid. Let's get it. Looking like we may have been getting a nice double top short setting up with a chickens drinking water. A CDW. If you follow Jason Casper, you know what a CDW is. You know, that little peck that they do. They can do it upwards. They can do it up, downwards. But it's a nice little wick. Like Johnny. So, shout out to you. Shout out to the Otter Gang. I'm calling for the dump. We're getting a reversal on the weekly. I mean, this candle is fresh, right? This candle is fresh as can be. So, I wouldn't take it too serious. Shout out to the Otter Gang. We don't want to end up like this guy. SBF, he's probably not in doing too well. You know, and guess what? Bullish, bearish, no matter what you are, we're making money. So the crypto wars begun. The crypto wars have. Shout out to all of you guys. Now let's get into the charts and let's see what we got. Now I am currently in a swing short because I felt bearish. I'll tell you some of the signs I was looking at, but let's go down to the 2-day chart. And right now on the 2-day, we are starting to curve over and we're trying to print a red dot. Isn't that good? That's some bearish news. Now you can see this nice curvature here of the VWAP or the money flow. And the VWAP is just hanging out down below. So it could cross over, right? This is very bearish to me, right? This is very bearish to me. Do we need a retracement? If you look at this chart, does it look like we need a retracement? I think it looks like we need a retracement. Come on. Like, we can continue upwards. We can keep pumping. Have you guys checked out that U.S. flight cancellation about how they got hacked and they might have needed to pay with Bitcoin? Wild. Conspiracy theories until they're true, right? Now, looking at this chart, we're going to go onto the daily. Let's look at the daily. Bada bing, bada boom. Now this to me looks bearish yet again. We can see that this looks like a divergence, in my opinion, that can bring us down. Now, the one thing I'm not certain about is this money flow here on the daily has not really curved downwards yet. May I say yet? It is flattening out, which is a good sign, but I haven't seen no downwards turn. I've seen the downwards turn on the VWAP, but I haven't seen it on the money flow. And the money flow is more of a secondary or tertiary kind of indicator that confirms long-term trends. Now, we do have the bear divvy, but not all bear divvies play out, right? Let's go to the 18. All right. So, same thing, bear divvies, right? Red RSI, money flow slowly curving over, right? So, for me, this has got to be at least a retracement, right? So where would I pull my retracement if I was looking at this? Well, I go to the 4 hours. I pull from the swing low to the swing high, right from here to here. And I'd be looking for a retracement right around the top of this range. Look how that matches up so nicely. And I'd mark this out on my chart. Now, I'd always bring it a little bit lower because the 786, and it is quite a big range. And we're getting quite a bit of volume if you look at it. Look at the volume. Woohoo! No matter what, up or down, we're making money in this crazy, crazy, crazy market. Shout out to you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash the like button. If you're new here, welcome to the Otter Gang. Alex O Crypto. Much appreciation, much love. We're out here daily. working hard on the day, coming home and giving you the TA. That's how we roll here. Always trying to be helpful, always trying to share our knowledge. Join us in the Discord. We're having fun, and we're always out here to extract money the best way we can. Great community, great set of guys and gals all trying to do well. So shout out to all of you guys, and shout out to the Otter Gang. So yeah, let's look at this. So we had over here, this was a hard push up sideways, right? We've had this push up into the zone. Now I'm going to pull up my old TA and we're going to look at this, okay? So if I look at this old support and resistance, right? Bingo, bango. Let's get rid of this one. Now you can see, I got a haircut. Thanks, Jake. Camera makes Alex more beautiful. This one's for you, Jake. I got you. See, I just got home. I'm fresh out of the shower. Construction worker. I was cutting concrete today. Not a good day. Hard day. Hard day's work. But coming home, sharing the TA, trying to help you guys, trying to help myself, right? We're all here. But what's really interesting is that we've had this trend line. If I zoom out, zoom way out, we've had this trend line, and we've been waiting for this trend line. You can see the trend line is right here, right? So if I go back into this, let's go to the 2 hour, we can see that we got a perfect wick down to this trend line. You see how well this has been respected. We're trying to stay above. We're trying to stay above, right? We had this beautiful wick down, and now we're trying to stay above. Can we stay above? Well, like I said, a bit bearish right now, right? Bit bearish. Now we've been bouncing around the VWAP ever since having that move down, right? We also gave these levels previous days, so we did come up while I was sleeping, because that's always how it happens. While I was sleeping, because New York market opens when I sleep, but obviously this was weekend, right? Came up to the level that I had given in the Discord the other day. Bingo, bango, and it came down, right? Beautiful trade setup. Would have been a nice, beautiful, like, what was it? Let's take a look. Oh, man. 3% with some leverage on Bitcoin. Let's go. That would have been a nice trade. That would have been a nice trade. Now, I did take a long and a short throughout the day yesterday. We were scalping the levels, doing well. It was lots of fun. Shout out to Kumis. He was like, how are you scalping all these levels? Good job. Thank you for shouting me out. I appreciate you in the Discord. So what are my ideas right now? Well, a lot of people are talking about the 55 EMA and the 200 crossing over as a bullish sign. That's something that's on the radar. But my concern is this weekly, right? So we've gotten huge prints of two giant bullish candles. Look at how bullish these candles are, right? We got a major one that brought us up to our FTX candle. And now we have one that has pushed us higher and is trying to flip this trend line into support, right? So why do I have these squares up above? Well, these squares up above, if we pull the volume profiles, we can see that on the left here of my screen, 30,000 is in the making if we can get above this right here, which is about 25,000. If we can get above 25,000, 30,000 is key. But right now, we need to be patient, because if we look at the volume profile, we can see very simply, one second, my chat. Thanks, Phil, for liking the video. I appreciate you. Fresh to death, bro. Get it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Jake. You're fresh as well, my man. You can see right here that our last real volume on this range is the 25K, right? It's this last bit that's holding us up. So we got a box up there. That's kind of like our ceiling right now. And then obviously if we get above that, we can have such a swift move up. So if we are going to have a push, it's going to have to come up here and then push back down, right? That would be the bullish scenario. But currently, I have boxes set below. Now, these boxes set below, like we just pulled with that fib, are areas of retracement. Now, I'm not going to be a complete bear until I see us work. Let's go from swing low to swing high until I see us work our way down to at least this 0.5 level at around 19,105, right? We have confluence there, so let's draw a box there as well, right? We have confluence there, so let's draw a box as well. So we got 3 levels to hit on our way down with good volume. So there's lots of support underneath us, right? So we have to be careful if we do get that move down, because a lot of times when we have these bullish retraces, we get stopped dead in our tracks and then we spring back upwards. It's very quick, right? It's very quick. But also, don't forget that we can also have a very quick move down because we had such a quick move up. Because they've gone up and grabbed liquidity. If you think as one of the market makers, right? They've got liquidity. What do they got? A little back in May. Congratulations. You know what I mean? But right now, they've gone all the way back basically to August, right? So they've wiped out the people in the fall. There's not that much above. So what can they do now? Well, they can shoot it right back down to the ground, can't they? Right? Can't they? Now you can see money flow is starting to come out on the lower time frames, right? If we go to the 4, we can see money flow starting to come down, right? The 3, same story. The 2, same story. Now it's important to check all your time frames. Whenever I come to the charts, I always check time frames, right? I make a plan with a fresh head. Check time frames, support and resistance. Then I go to volume profiles. Then we'll go to fibs. Then we'll zoom in on lower time frames and we'll see what the sentiment is, right? So right now, it looks to me that we're in a minor downtrend, right? We've pumped all the way back up. Now, if you want to pull a trend line, maybe we can go something like this, right? Maybe we can, I saw something similar to this, right? So, are we working our way through here, right? Where is this going to land us, right? Can we get pushed down yet again? That I got into earlier in this day on my lunchtime. Now, I don't suggest trading on your lunch. I don't suggest trading on your phone. I suggest having your trading view open and being ready to trade at home and then executing your trade on whatever platform you choose. I don't shill for any of that stuff. It's just totally up to you. Bybit has been my choice. I've used FTX. Concerns me is on the weekly close, they didn't want the bulls getting above this line. There's a reason for that, right? There's a reason for that. So we have to be watching what the market is telling us it's going to do, right? We can't be thinking like retail traders. If we think like retail traders, we're going to lose every single time. So we're bouncing off this minor trend line. Yes, we've had 3 touches. Can we continue downwards? Hopefully, because I am in a short, so I'm biased, right? So what else do we got here? Let's zoom in to the 30. What does Market Cipher B? Market Cipher B has shown us gone into, and the 45 and the 30 are better medium indicators. So in the 45, we've been in the green. Look how long. If you look down below here, since January 20th, we've been in the green, right? All the way back here, we've been in the green. You can tell that easily by looking at this orange bar down below. That's how long we've been in the green. That's how long the money flow has been in the green. From here, we dip down a little bit. So we can even go all the way back to the 20th, right? Way back when. We've been in the green. Whee! And now we've curved right over. We've humped up, and now we're curving back down, right? Can we go into the red or the purple? Because orange and purple are the colors of this channel. Shout out to you guys. And I find that the orange and purple candles don't get me so excited. When I see a big green candle, I get excited and I'll FOMO in. Or if I see a big red candle, I will short and I will FOMO in, right? This is just psychological. This is for myself. This keeps me calm, cool, and collected most of the time, except when price, decides to completely go on a roller coaster, which we know it can do that because of this. But that's kind of why we're here as well. So if you look at this, we're bouncing off this. We're also bouncing off the VWAP today. VWAP has been very nice to us. Look, we've had the dump down, right? The dump down has occurred. And then we came up, bounced off VWAP, flipped it to support, bounce, 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 right? Now we've come up, and now can we continue downwards, right? That's the question. Can we continue downwards? VWAP is acting as resistance right now, and we're starting to curve over. RSI slowly curving over to the downside, right? And then we go down to the 5. We're getting a blood diamond. Now, we're getting blood diamonds. We're getting reversal patterns. We're getting a lot more on the 5s and the lower time frames. It's because it's all over the place, right? Great for scalping. But long term, I'm looking at more downside, right? Looking at more downside. Because of this weekly close and because of what I've seen on the markets, it doesn't look very good. Now, to cross-reference this, now let's go over to the daily. Let's go over to the Dixie and look at the Dixie dump and hold this level, right? So we got these yellow X's of continuation. The scalps have been a dream right now. Yes, they have been a dream. I'm home. I'm ready to scalp, ready to go. Thanks, Felix, for shouting that out. We have had volume. We've been trading the lows and the highs, taking profits early, getting in and out. It's been fun, especially yesterday. It's Monday in Australia, but we scalping all day Sunday, and that was great. That was so much fun sharing our trades in the Discord, right? Reaping the rewards. That's how we're rolling. Otter gang. Awesome. So when I look at the Dixie, we can see that we've been falling, right? Falling down, 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 and in dropping of a wedge. Can it pop? Right? Can it pop? That is the question. There's a lot of pop to give. If we pull this, we're going to pop, right? We're going to pop crazy. But it's holding itself. It's holding itself. We've had this line marked out for quite a long time, right around this 101.2, right? Because it hasn't been able to get below this. It's wicked down a couple times, but we'll have more movement come tomorrow. Monday for you guys, Tuesday for us, right? Because we've had multiple supports here from previous, right? So, Jake Fro, could you explain how the VWAP works? I use the VWAP on Market Cipher B on your charts. How do you use it efficiently? Thanks so much for asking, Jake. Let me show you right now. So obviously you just go into the indicators quickly, right? It pops up. I do not change anything on this except I close off everything else in here, right? And no, it's not too much, man. I can just show you right now, very simply, right? Inputs all stay the same. I pop it on my chart. Now the important thing with the VWAP is it's not very effective on later time. This can work above it, but for me, it's more effective on the shorter time frames, right? So you can see it trailing all around, and it's important to note what time. So I like it on the 12-minute, right? So it's important to note when for you is the time the VWAP resets. For me, it's 10:30. I know that's 10:30. Look, 10:30 right here, 10:30. It pops, right? 10:30, it pops, right? It pops. See this? It jumps back up. So that's my daily reset of my VWAP, right? So when it pops, normally then it'll set the average for the day. So volume, it comes back, it touches it, right? So it acts as a support, or in this case, it punches through, comes down, and it touches here and it comes back down, right? It touches here, it comes back down, then it pushes through, right? And then it acts as support, bang, support, right? So depending on the trend, right, it can act as support or resistance, right? In smaller time frames. So if I'm scalping, it's a quick reference for me if I'm pulling fibs. So if I zoom in here, right, and I can see this, I'm like, okay, where's this going to go? And sometimes the VWAP's trailing around here, right? So I'm like, where's this going to pop off? Well, I'll pull a fibs from the top of this range here to the bottom of this range here, and then it'll give me that, right? Sorry, that was meant to be from up here. So I can typically see that with Confluence, it'll give me a little extra confidence to enter a trade, right? It'll come up, it'll pop, hit the VWAP, also the golden pockets right here. That's where I'll look for a short entry, right? Vice versa. So right now we're getting a wee little, I say wee because I lived in Scotland for a year, a wee little pop down, right? But it can make its way back up to the VWAP because it sucks price right back into it. So I use it as Confluence. It's a volume, it's volume weighted average price, I believe it stands for. So it's an average price of the day, right? And that's how I use it. So if that helps at all, I hope. But it acts as support and resistance depending on your trend, and it always seems to work its way back to it. If that helps, hopefully it helps. Shout out to you, Jake. Thanks for asking questions, man. I have no problem answering if I have the knowledge. I won't share anything that I don't understand. That's just, yeah, it's good. It's great for Confluence, especially like if it's at a volume profile. Like if I pull this volume from here to here and I got a fib, right? So I pulled the volume profile. I pulled that fib. I had the VWAP coming down into it, right? With price coming back up to the VWAP, right? The VWAP was here. This is how I got into the trade today, right? So price had dumped. So I missed that trade. So I'm like, okay, where is it going to come? I pull my fibs from swing high to swing low, right? I get my golden pocket right around here, right? The VWAP's coming down. I got Confluence with volume, right? I got the point of control for this local range. There's no reason why I wouldn't take that trade, right? Short stop loss, but yeah, it makes sense to me, right? That is a high valuable trade. Like that has worked for me multiple times with those 3 confluences and in a downward trend. Like there's 4 count, you know what I mean? I don't need much more, and it's following this trend line. So like, let's go, right? Let's go. The more I can stack, the more I can get Confluence, right? How do you pull a golden pocket, bro? Okay, so simple. My favorite is that golden pocket. Let's get rid of everything on the screen. Oh, did I just swap? Yeah, I just swapped. Right? The golden pocket for me is one of my favorite tools. Even I have plants named Fib and Archie, like Fibonacci, right? It's pretty nerdy, but so it's always swing high to swing low or swing low to swing high, right? Whenever you're pulling a fib, it's in confluence with a trend. So let me look for an example. Okay, so if I want to see where this, let's say this moves up here, right? So it moves up, it stops here, and it comes back down. Now, I'm going to pull a swing low from a swing high, right? And now I'm going to wait. I'll stretch this out a bit. Now I'm going to wait for price to return to the golden pocket /786. A lot of the time, it comes through and it pops back up, right? So if I'm looking for a re-entry, so on this dump here, boom, it dumps down. I'm going to pull a fib from the top of this one. Let's say it's starting to move its way back up. Boom, right? There we go again. There's another one, right? Very simple. Very simple. Now, if I miss this one and it dumps on me, well, I'm going to pull that because that's still my swing high. I'm going to pull that down to this one and look for another re-entry, right? So you can see how it's being respected, right? Because it's come down. Now it's come up. Now hopefully it comes down, right? And then it comes up. And that can continue all the way down, right? Depending on your trend. Now, where is my Fibonacci on this price? Where is my Fibonacci going to be pulled from? Well, I'm going to look for retracement if I'm in an uptrend, which it could be, right? My next golden pocket's right down here, right? So this is a way I will pull a Fibonacci in order to take profit, right? So if I'm in a short entry and I'm looking to take profit, well, you better believe that I'm going to set a take profit just before this golden pocket, right? Does that make sense? Because I know that naturally, I'm going to get a retracement if this is going to continue upwards, right? So I'll set a take profit around here, right? Just to ensure that, right? Because if that's the case, right, and it does continue downwards, well, guess what? It retraces from there. I pull a swing here from swing high. So, and then I will know that, guess what? Price is going to come back up. So it's going to come up here, come down here, and continue downwards, right? There's many ways, right? But that's how I use it. That's how I use it to take profits, right? Initially, in order to. Hope that makes sense. So let's go over to, so we were talking about the Dixie. Let's go over to the Dixie real quick. It's always good to check other parts of the market for confluence, right? So the Dixie has leveled out. We're looking for it to move upwards, right? We're in this falling wedge, right? Anytime, Phil. Anytime, man. And we're looking for a swift move upwards, right? We're looking for that move upwards. We've leveled out here. We're going to look for confluence. And we're going to look for any indication that we could be moving upwards. Because when Bitcoin goes up, or when the dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down, right? So that would give us confluence into our bearish ideas right now, right? For a retracement. Now, make sure that you have the ES mini futures for me and you guys, or good morning for you guys. This will start off, right? And this will give us an indication of which way the markets are going to move. It's very important to always check this on Sundays. It will give you an idea of how we're going to move. We have this giant downtrend that we've had for quite a bit on this and the S&P 500. And we were asking ourselves last week, this will give us an idea of which way we're going to go. Well, guess what? It still hasn't decided. So what we're waiting for is it to flip this to support, bullish, or obviously continue downwards bearish, right? We've been getting rejected off of this thing multiple times, right? This time has been a lot quicker though, right? You can see right here that we've come up, touched, come up, touched, right? Is this going to be a double top and send us down? Quite possible, right? Quite possible. Because you can see these ones touched, dropped, right? This one touched, dropped, right? This one's touched a lot quicker, so it's been a lot different, right? And that's also because inflation has not been as bad, right? My target for the S&P is all the way down at 3350. Somewhere around here, guys. This is somewhere around here. Now that might be bearish, but I don't think we've felt the pain in this continue downwards. Maybe. Let's leave the square up here and see how close we get. Right? Let's see how close we get. But make sure to go on to your mini futures and watch that for some price action. Because today and tomorrow, it's always a great indication before markets open to where we can go. Now this is flagging. On the short-term time frames, this is flagging, right? That should be continuation to the upside. Or do we get a good old see you later alligator and fill up all these CME gaps, right? All these giant gaps. Right? Gap. There's tons to fill here. And there's tons of room to the downside. So make sure that we're checking that. If you guys are liking this and prepared and fresh out of the shower with the beautiful haircut, shout out to you guys. Let's not revenge trade. Let's practice good risk management. We out here, we're calling for the dump. King Otter coming at you. We here. Much love. Shout out to you guys. Now let's get back into it. So my final thoughts. My final thoughts before I jump into the Discord, hang out with you guys, is that, hey, look at this. We are in a mini downtrend. We are at the top of this trend. Can we flip it? Can we get above it? That is the question. That is the question. Maybe this is a bit sharper. Right? But let's be careful. And let's be aware that we have had an enormous push up. An enormous push up. And now if you're not a bit more bullish and a bit more FOMO-ish and a bit more otterish, then I don't know what you're thinking. Because clearly, we have skyrocketed compared to what we've been experiencing since basically August. Right? So let's be safe. Let's practice good risk management. Let's take profits early. Early profits. Don't be greedy. Greed will ruin us. Right? Greed will ruin. Consistent, healthy trades, taking profits early, moving stop loss into profit or into break even, and letting the trade ride out. That's what we do here. Right? We get good sniper, amazing otter entries, and we practice good risk management and make healthy, profitable trades, right? Look for a rejection off the 0.5 here. We'll keep an eye on money flow. We'll see if the 2-hour can finally get into the red. Doesn't look too good right now. We're flattening out. Right? That curvature is slowly flattening out. You can see it, right? Don't need a microscope, maybe. So the 1 hour, what is it telling us? The 1 hour has came all the way back up from this bullish. That's a very bearish signal in my opinion, because we have VWAPs heading down. We have this coming up, right? And the big curvature over, right? Very big distance between the RSI and the stochastic. This looks bearish to me. That's only the 1 hour though, right? We got volume. So we're doing all right. So be safe out there. Practice good risk management. Much love to all of you guys. That's me. Coming home from work, sharing what I got. Let's get into the charts. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join me in the Discord. We're out there. The link to the Discord's in the chat below. I appreciate you all. Peace, love, and go out there and smash it and get the bag. Much love. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace out. Hey, Mrs. Otter, did you fix the internet yet? No. She said no. Bye.